Hello everyone and welcome to Vlogmas Day 24. It is currently 4:30 and I've not filmed a single thing, but I thought I would do a little bit of a different Vlogmas video. We've had Connor's dad and his girlfriend over pretty much all day, and then we've been cleaning the house and I just have not had time to pick up the camera. So I thought I would film my favourite books of 2023. Because who doesn't love a book video? I mean, if you don't read, you probably won't love it, but if you do read, you will really like this book. And I want to share with you my favourite books, what I thought of them, what I rated them, all that jazz. So I think we're going to just dive straight into it because I have a lot to get through, and I'm not going to lie, I've read a lot of good books. If you don't follow my BookTok account, it is just Jasmine Jade Reads. I'll try and link my Goodreads in the description, but to be honest, I'm not very good at remembering to do that, so if I forget, I'm very sorry. Start with a series because I'm missing one book because I'm waiting for my, I need to collect it basically from the Vinted, what they called, the impost lockers, because I got it off Vinted. But this series of books I go on about all the bloody time, to be honest. It's the reason I love F1 so very much. It's the reason I got into interconnected romance series, and I just thoroughly enjoyed these books. So if you haven't guessed already, it is the Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher. These are all F1 books, standalone if you want, but interconnected. I haven't got the first one because that's the one I've ordered from Vinted. These books are just so easy to read. They've got different tropes in them. They've got so many likable characters, so easy to relate to, easy to follow on. I just loved everything about these books, and to this day, if I had not have read these on Kindle Unlimited, by the way, so if you've got Kindle Unlimited, read them on there. If I had not read these on Kindle Unlimited, I would not love F1 as much as, I would not even love F1 at all. I wouldn't have even watched it, I wouldn't have got into it, and F1 has been a big part of my 2023. I have lived, laughed, loved F1 on a Sunday, on a Saturday, on a Friday, on a Thursday, every single week, and I've just fallen in love with the sport completely, and it's all thanks to these books. So if you like a sports romance, if you like interconnected books with the same characters but you could also read them as standalones, this is what you want to go for. So my favourite is Redeemed, and also how gorgeous is this cover. I could stare at it all day. It's absolutely stunning. So that's my favourite one, but I just love them all, and as a series I would give it like a 4.5 stars for the just for the F1, to be honest with you. Icebreaker, of course Icebreaker was going to be in here, of course. So I rated Icebreaker, let's have a look because I cannot remember. I think I gave it a 5 stars, you know. Yeah, 5 stars. Okay, so Icebreaker is reverse Grumpy Sunshine. It's forced proximity. It's ice hockey and figure skating romance. It's everything you want in a college teeny romance book. I loved all of the side characters in this book. I loved the main characters. I loved the story outside of the smut. If you don't like smut, don't read this book because there's some spicy scenes in this. The characters are just so enjoyable and easy, and it's such an easy book to read. I finished it so quickly, and I really think this is worth the TikTok hype. I honestly do. I thought it was incredible. It was funny. It was easy. It was just a great all-round book, and that's why I rated it 5 stars. And I will always love this book. I'm yet to read Wildfire, and I really need to read that. But Henry is my favourite side character, so why did she not bring Henry's book first? Does anyone know? Does anyone know? Let me know. But yes, great book. Okay, so same author, different books. Okay, these romance books 100. They're not for everyone, okay, but they were for me. And they've always going to hold a special place in my heart, because this book was so heartbreaking and so well written, and I just loved it. It was so easy to read. I loved the romance in this. I loved the backstories. I loved the issues that the characters had. I thought it was incredible. It ends with us. This book, love triangle kind of situation. Check the trigger warnings because could be triggering for some people. This is a beautifully written story, and I can't wait for the film to come out because I'm going to bawl my eyes out, I can tell you that. This book makes you fall in love with the characters and then just breaks your heart at the end of it. But these two books honestly were 100% worth the hype in my eyes. I loved both of them. I gave Ugly Love 4.75. and I gave It Ends With Us 4.5. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This book is massive on Book Talk, so what pretty much all of my 5-star books are. This was actually a 4-star, I think, from me. 4 stars. The only reason this isn't a 5-star is because it's so similar to Hunger Games that in some parts I was reading, I was like, am I reading the Hunger Games? But if you like fantasy, if you like extreme slow burn, this is for you. The romance in this is written so well and it'll have you on the edge of your seat. The fantasy aspect of this is incredible. It is literally the Hunger Games but with powers. It's incredible and I can't wait for the rest of this. I think it's going to be a trilogy, could be wrong. I can't wait for the rest of these to come out because I ate this book up. I read it so fast and that's all I have to say about it. I just loved it. If you have never read a fantasy book, this would be a good one to start with. This was probably one of my first, apart from like Harry Potter, first fantasy books I've read, and I found it so easy to follow along. There isn't this crazy amount of dialect that you don't understand. It's just so good, and I highly recommend. So Twisted by Emily McIntyre. So this is part of the Never After series, all individual book. These can just be read as a standalone book. This is the first book I've read from the Never After series, and it's actually not the first one that she brought out, so I might have stabbed myself in the foot by doing that because I've heard that others aren't amazing, but this was 5 stars. It's loosely based around Aladdin. Kind of. If you've read this, you'll understand how it is loosely based on Aladdin. But yeah, similarities. It's romance, but it's dark romance. So please check the trigger warnings because it's dark. It is enemies to lovers. It's fake dating, arranged marriage. So good. It was so easy to read. If you've never read dark romance but you want to get into it, I think this series is probably a good place to start. It's not too dark. Well, I didn't find this book too dark, but it's under a dark romance category. So yeah, incredible. I could talk about these books all day, but I'm not going to because you'll be bored. Another 5-star read from me, and possibly my most favourite romance book that I have read this year. From Luke Off With Love. This is a figure skating romance. It is kind of enemies to lovers, best friend's brother. They're kind of frenemies, they're not really enemies. Forced proximity. This book is a slow burn. If you don't like slow burn, you will hate this book. I read this in one sitting because I couldn't put it down. I actually read this on Kindle Unlimited as well, so you can get this on Kindle Unlimited, but I had to buy the physical copy because it's honestly my favourite romance I've read this year, and I will always have time for this book, and I will reread this book forever and ever and ever because it made me so happy. It doesn't have a huge amount of smut in it because it's so slow burn that nothing happens but you wish it did. At every opportunity something could happen, you want it to, you know. So I just love a figure skating book. I don't know what it is about figure skating, but I really enjoy figure skating ice hockey books. Thank you for bringing this book into my life. Thank you, universe, because I love this book so much. And if you're going to read any and you like slow burn, you like frenemies to lovers, you like best friend's brother, let it be this book because I adored it. So Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, again very popular on TikTok for a reason. This was so easy to read. It was confusing in the best possible way. It kept me on the edge of my seat. I didn't want to put it down. I had to know how it ended. I would say it is a little bit predictable. It's not the best thriller I've read this year, but it was high up there. I rated this 4 stars. And it was a 4 stars because I predicted the ending. However, in my mind, if I predict the ending, but the ending is still played out really well, it's good enough. If I predict the ending and it's just a letdown, it's rubbish. But this didn't let me down. It's worth the hype, and I just think you should read it. And I can't describe thrillers because I give it away, so I'm not gonna tell you what this is about. You're just gonna have to check it out yourself. Now we're moving on to Kindle Unlimited books. So if I'm looking down, that is because they're all on my Goodreads and I need to know the ratings. So 2 books that I read pretty one after another: The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden. Incredible thriller books. Psychological thrillers are one of the best genres you could read if you want to get into reading, if you're in a reading slump. It's so good. And let me tell you, when everyone says these books are great, they are great. I rated them both 4 stars. Not my favourite Frida McFadden books. However, extremely gripping, extremely twisty, and you just cannot predict the ending to these books. So both of them books, 4 stars. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Now I'm going to tell you a bit of a weird one. Bunny by Mona Awad. I gave this 4.5. This book is the weirdest book I have ever read in my entire life. Do I understand what it's about now? Not really, but did that make the book incredible? Yes. I have never read a book like this, and I would say 2023 has been the year I've really, really fallen in love with reading. I started like reading last year, but this year has been a good year for me. And I've just fallen in love with so many different genres and romance and authors. It's incredible. This book was just so confusing. My mind couldn't make sense of it. I had no idea what was going on at all. And even after I finished reading it, I still don't have any idea what it's about. So I can't tell you. But what I can tell you, it's like Marmite. You are going to love it or hate it. And I loved it. And I really can't wait to reread this. It's just the weirdest book I've ever read in my life, which makes it so unique and so incredible. Okay, and then we're going on to, this is a romance. I've got Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. Enemies to Lovers, so good, and one of my favourite Penelope Douglas books I have read. I haven't read many, but this is one of my favourites. I didn't want to put it down because it was so good. The chemistry between the two main characters was incredible, and the stories besides the romance was also really good. So I really think Penelope Douglas writes characters extremely well and makes them extremely likeable, but gives them a lot of background. To another thriller. Okay, let's just put it out there. Thriller award-winning thriller writer of 2023 for me has been Frida McFadden. I have rinsed her books this year. I've read so many, and most of them are above a 3-star because I love them so much. So I'll tell you my 4 stars first. The Perfect Son, 4 stars, really good. And One by One, 4 stars, really good. Now, I'm not going to talk about them because, like I said, I will give it away because I'm not very good at explaining a book without giving away the plot. So my lips are sealed. Just go and read them if you've got Kindle Unlimited. Pretty much, I think all of her books are on there. My 5-star Frida McFadden books. The Locked Door and The Inmate. I have spoken so much about these 2 books before, so if you are new to my channel, go back and watch some of my book videos because I've spoken about these books, and I'm not going to bore you right now, but I just want to let you know that them 2 books, The Locked Door and The Inmate, are my favourite Frida McFadden books of 2023 that I've read. Another thriller that I gave 5 stars, In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. Now, this is like a academic psychological thriller, quite hard to explain. It's based around like university aged students. Well, they're older, but the crime happened when they was in college or university, whatever it is. I just really enjoyed this book. I think, again, this is a bit of Marmite. You're either going to love it or hate it. I just really loved the aspect of this book, and I just loved the story. I found it really easy to follow along, but I also found it twisted all the time, and I was changing how I thought the ending was going to pan out, and I didn't guess it. So incredible book. Okay, we've got two more romance books and then we're done. So, Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer, 4.5. I nearly rated this higher than Icebreaker. It's a ice hockey romance, and it's grumpy sunshine, it's forced proximity, a bit of fake dating as well. So really, really good. The only reason it is not a 5-star is because there's one scene in this book that made me just cringe so much. If that scene wasn't in the book, this would literally be like a 6-star book for me, because I rinsed it. I finished it so quickly, I couldn't put it down. I loved it. Loved the characters, loved the story, loved the romance, loved the banter between the two main characters. But one scene just let it down. And the last book, I'm finishing on a high, guys. I'm finishing on a high. Credence by Penelope Douglas, 5 stars. I know a lot of people think I'm messed up for loving this book. However, this book is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. This book is so good. It's twisted. It's really messed up. But that's what makes it so brilliant. And I know a lot of people are like, how can you like this? Because it's actually really messed up. But the writing in this is so incredible. And I couldn't put it down. I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked, and I've been sucked in by the Credence aura. I love it. And that is my last favourite book of 2023. I've read some good books this year. Please comment down below your favourite books of 2023. Comment down below what you're most excited to read for 2024, what your reading goal is, how many books you want to read. I actually did, well, I mean, we're not at the end of December yet, are we? But I'm currently on 72. I'm reading my 73rd book. My goal was 70. My original goal was 52. I smashed that. So then I upped it to 70. And I'm on my 73rd book of the year. So let me know your goals. Let me know your favourite books this year. And I'm excited to hear like what you've loved and what you haven't loved. And just remember, reading is subjective. So you can love a book, someone else can hate it. You can hate a book and someone else can love it. And that is what's beautiful about reading. So don't judge other people for what they like and what you don't like. And just bear that in mind, because there's a lot of judgy people on book talk and stuff, and we don't accept that here. So if you don't like any of these books, I'm really sorry you didn't enjoy them, but these are just my opinions, what I loved. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry it's a bit different from Vlogmas, but I still want to give you a video, and I've got nothing to vlog because it's basically the end of the day. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.